Tonight on To The Point, UC workers vote to strike amid protest on campus, why they feel their rights were violated, plus the impact it could have on the rest of the semester. A family search for answers after a mother drowned in the San Joaquin River.
If we don't speak out, there's not going to be a change.
There are concerns about how her search was handled.
Warm temperatures now, but breezy winds make a return. The impacts we'll be facing this weekend.
And later, as California battles an opioid crisis, how a new bill could make methadone more accessible. We start tonight with breaking news. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. The building that is home to the governor's office was evacuated late today after reports of a suspicious package labeled as anthrax. All staff members were asked to leave the Capitol Annex swing space on O Street. The governor's office says that officials quickly responded and tested the package, which they confirmed was not anthrax or anything dangerous. Keep in mind, the governor is in Italy right now for a climate summit, and we will keep you updated as we learn more about this situation. But tonight, it's been a tense few weeks with encampments occupying college campuses nationwide, and especially here in California. We have seen arrests and violence at campuses like UCLA and UC Irvine, and now the union representing thousands of UC workers have voted to strike in response. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen is live at UC Davis tonight with how this strike vote would impact the students and also how the university is responding. Jeannie.
Alex, well, tonight here at UC Davis, the encampment that you see behind me is peaceful, and it has been peaceful. While we still don't have any idea on when or where a strike might happen, the students here at UC Davis do tell me that they are in support of the union's decision.
I think people are generally very supportive of it and are happy about the support that they're seeing for the people in Palestine and the ongoing genocide.
As UC Davis grad students, Regina Fairbanks and Marissa Sandoval say they've been pleased with the encampment on their campus.
It's been really nice to see at Davis compared to other campuses just how the response has been at least calm and peaceful thus far.
But the pro-Palestine encampments haven't been peaceful at all campuses, including UCLA and Irvine, with arrests of multiple people, including UC employees. On Wednesday night, the United Auto Workers, representing thousands of UC employees, voted to strike.
A supermajority of members voted yes to authorize a strike in response to the university's illegal practices.
And while protests have been relatively peaceful at UC Davis, those in the encampment say there is always a concern it won't stay that way.
It's really frightening, and I think I speak for a lot of people at Pulp that we are nervous that that could happen here.
But the union's vote makes them confident they have people on their side.
Seeing the union take a stand and union members vote to authorize a strike is really a step in the right direction.
It is still unclear when a strike will actually happen. The University of California did release a statement that says, in part, the strike is illegal and violates the union's no strike clause in their contract. The university supports lawful protests, but will take lawful action when protests become a safety or security concern, adding the demands from the union are political and are not part of their contract.
This is a labor issue. They are making it unsafe for workers to go to their work environment. It is a health and safety issue, and honestly, it's up to the university to prevent a strike.
Now, again, we still don't have a time or place for this strike, but union representatives do tell me that their executive board will meet in the morning tomorrow to discuss those details. In Davis, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. And this comes as law enforcement arrested 50 people on UC Irvine's campus yesterday. School officials say a group of several hundred pro-Palestinian protesters entered a lecture hall and surrounded the building, stopping people from entering by stacking tents on top of each other as a makeshift barricade. Law enforcement dismantled the encampment after declaring an unlawful assembly and ordering the crowd to disperse. The protesters, like others around the country, are demanding the university divest from Israel over the Hamas war. The Sonoma State University president is now on administrative leave after announcing an agreement with a pro-Palestinian group. President Mike Lee sent a memo that was campus-wide saying he would pursue an academic boycott of Israeli institutions as well as divestment strategies. Now, the university said it was sent without approval and was also in subordination. The chancellor of the university system released a statement saying, in part, quote, "The heart and mission of the CSU is to create an inclusive and welcoming place for everyone we serve, not to marginalize one community over another. Lee has issued an apology saying he realized by finding an agreement with one group, he marginalized other members of the community. A judge has decided that a Southern California college professor will stand trial in the death of a Jewish counter-protester. 51-year-old Louay Al-Naji is accused of striking Paul Kessler with a megaphone in November during a demonstration over the Israel-Hamas war in Thousand Oaks. And this is video showing the moments after the incident. Kessler fell backwards and struck his head on the pavement, later dying at the hospital. A judge declared that there is enough evidence to try Al-Naji, and he faces charges for involuntary manslaughter and battery. If found guilty, he could be sentenced to more than 4 years in prison. Tonight, a small community left shaken up after the ranch fire spread about 10 acres in Concal, the area of Butte County. The fire led to some evacuations in the area. Cal Fire says that now it is 50% contained, and thankfully, no one was hurt and no buildings were damaged, and that cause is still under investigation. A restaurant in West Sacramento is cleaning up tonight after a car crashed into the front of the business. This is at Oishi Teriyaki Sushi on Lake Road. It's unclear how the car ended up there, but thankfully no one was hurt, and the owner tells us despite the damage, he will be staying open for takeout orders. And it has been a week since a Stanislaus County mom drowned while rescuing her kids in the San Joaquin River. Tonight, questions are mounting after it took nearly 3 days and a volunteer diver to find her body. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras spoke with the woman's grieving family and has their message tonight.
I'm shaking.
Today is one of Aurora Duran's few times back at Fisherman's Bend near Newman.
I just can't get Brenda's face out of my head.
Since her sister Brenda's body was found Saturday by volunteer diver Juan Heredia in the waters of the San Joaquin River.
She was such a lover, a fighter. She was a hardworking person. She gave everything for her 3 kids.
Even her own life. Brenda drowned while rescuing her kids from the river. Nostalgic memories have been mixed with moments of anger since that day.
We want to be able to call 911 and have their support. We want to be able to call 911 and know that we can count on them.
And questions.
We're already in pain enough, and then for them to be saying that they're doing everything possible when they're not. Why keep on lying to us? Why didn't they find her if they were looking at the same location?
That question is just one of the many that keeps the family awake at night. We took some of those questions to the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office.
For whatever reason, the information we got was that she was last seen at the island. When Mr. Heredia stopped by, he had information that she was last seen by the boat ramp, which happened to be before the point that we started at.
Sheriff's Office spokesperson Veronica Esquives said the length of their search each day depended on currents in the river's conditions.
We try to get people help as soon as possible. And, you know, we understand the distress. We just encourage the community to continue trusting in us and asking questions and just working with us.
If we don't speak out, there's not going to be a change.
And that's the bottom line for Aurora. As she prepares to bury her sister, she hopes something can change so no other families have to go through an unbearable week like her.
It's difficult. It's painful. And it breaks my heart to know that there's people out there who have never received their bodies back. I'm doing this for her, and I'm doing this for people out there.
In Stanislaus County, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
And the family started a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. They plan to bury Brenda later this week. Still ahead onto the point, an effort underway at the state capitol to make methadone more accessible outside of methadone clinics.
Temperatures today in the upper 70s, below the average of 80. I'll let you know what we have in store for your weekend forecast.
And later, a fiery day in Trump's hush money trial as attorneys cross-examine his former fixer, Michael Cohen, how they're trying to discredit his work. All right, let's get to meteorologist Carly Gomez. It was a lot cooler out today, actually very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a little breezy. That definitely made the temperatures drop today as much as 5 to 15 degrees across the region. We saw highs today around 78 degrees. Well, further north as well as further south, they stuck around those mid 80s, but Fairfield at 74, the foothills right around the mid 70s with 75 in Truckee and South Lake Tahoe, all thanks to that Delta breeze that pushed through today, that ocean breeze cooling us off. We're anywhere from around 8 to 13 degrees cooler at this hour than we were yesterday, just 24 hours ago. So you can just see the big impacts from that cool air moving onshore. And the humidity levels are much higher as well, right around these 50 to 60 percentile here, with 63% in Fairfield. So higher numbers here mean that it's more moist outside in the air, more humidity out there. Better when it comes to potential for wildfire outbreaks, even improve further north, where we know there was a 10-acre fire burning just a couple days ago in Concow. But now current winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Some of the wind gusts, though, have been picking up, with current temperatures now sitting in those low 70s for Sacramento, Elk Grove, and upper 70s in Stockton. We're at 68 in Fairfield, and Orville at 86 degrees. High pressure's in place, so we're still dry out there. But just take a look off into the ocean. You're seeing a little bit of that marine layer still sitting out there. Through tonight, we do expect the winds to begin pushing in that marine layer overnight. That should bring us some partly sunny skies into the morning hours, looking at 6 a.m., and then should start moving out by the afternoon, evening. And we will expect to see this on and off, but mostly expecting to see a trough beginning to push in for the eastern edge here of the Sierra on Saturday. That's actually going to start bringing us some chances potentially for thunderstorms in the high Sierra just south of US 50. So heads up for Saturday if you're heading in that direction. Temperatures expected pretty much to be in those mid 80s throughout the week, with low 80s the following weekend.
All right, thanks, Carly. Next, on to the point, making methadone more accessible, the new bill that's making its way through the state capitol, plus new details in the future of AT&T landlines in California, what the CPUC is saying about the service. As California battles an opioid crisis, critics say decades-old laws regulating methadone, which is used to treat withdrawal symptoms, are leading to more and more overdose deaths. But now there's an effort underway at the state capitol to make it more accessible. Richard Allen explains.
It is shocking that this is still on the books at this point.
San Diegan Gretchen Burns-Bergman says the state's decades-old laws regulating methadone, which is used to treat opioid withdrawal symptoms, are leading to more and more overdose deaths.
It's insane given the crisis that we're in. We're losing so many lives.
As founder of the nonprofit A New Path, or Parents for Addiction Treatment and Healing, she credits methadone for saving her own son's life.
I watched him go back to school on methadone, quit heroin, go back to school with methadone, and rebuild his life.
Methadone is the most effective treatment to help people get off of deadly drugs.
San Francisco Assemblymember Matt Haney is now leading the charge to make methadone more accessible.
We have the most restrictive policies in the country. We are way out of step where the rest of the world is on this.
While in many European countries, as well as Canada and Australia, methadone can be dispensed at pharmacies like other prescription medications. Here in California, it's largely restricted to methadone clinics, where people seeking treatment for addiction have to line up every day to get their dosage.
Imagine having to go every single day to line up to get your medication. How can you hold a job? How can you support yourself? And that's what we're doing to these people when they're just trying to do the right thing and get off of deadly drugs.
Haney's proposed legislation would loosen those restrictions, allowing doctors to prescribe patients up to a 3-day supply of methadone, which would align California with newly revised federal guidelines.
Right now, we treat you like you're the problem, and we make it harder and harder on you to do anything. And the result is we're losing these people.
So why are California's policies surrounding methadone still so restrictive?
California is still way behind. Our laws related to methadone were put into place decades ago in the Vietnam War era.
Even though these regulations were well-intentioned, they've actually created much more barriers for people.
Dr. Leslie Soon, who teaches at UC San Francisco, says that California's stringent methadone policies were formed during the nation's so-called war on drugs, focusing on drug use as a criminal issue rather than a matter of public health.
More punishing people than trying to bring them in and help them with drug addiction. And so a lot of the laws are still echoing that sort of punitive response to this day.
This new effort to modernize California's rules, though, have also raised some concerns.
The devil's in the details, as they say.
Jason Kletter is president of California Opioid Maintenance Providers, representing 120 treatment facilities statewide, serving 40,000 patients. He says while his group supports the intent of this proposal to increase access, he wants more safeguards in place to prevent misuse of the medication, pointing to data from a number of studies.
When methadone is prescribed for unsupervised use. It results in increases in overdose and death. And so we want to prevent that from happening.
I think that those concerns are valid.
Dr. Soon says that this proposed legislation requires any doctor prescribing take-home doses of methadone to meet strict guidelines already set by the Drug Enforcement Administration.
At the federal level, they've already implemented a lot of restrictions and a lot of safeguards in place.
And while methadone is highly effective, it's far from a cure. Many people who take methadone relapse, depending on a number of factors. Still, supporters of this new bill are also hopeful that if access to methadone is expanded, the stigma surrounding this treatment option will diminish.
It's the most effective of all, but it's the most stigmatized.
Gretchen Burns-Bergman says this bill could help counter that negative perception of methadone, instead affirming it as a viable and extremely valuable treatment option.
Really what it is doing is saving people's lives, allowing them a chance to rebuild their lives.
If ultimately passed by the Assembly, State Senate, and signed by the governor, these new regulations could be in place beginning next year. And today, the Justice Department moved to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. The proposed rule recognizes the medical use of cannabis and acknowledges it has less potential for abuse than some of the other most dangerous drugs. The plan, approved by the Attorney General, still does not legalize it for recreational use. The Drug Enforcement Administration will now take the proposal to public comment, and if approved, marijuana would become a Schedule III substance. All right, let's get into your price points tonight. The California Transportation Commission has voted in favor of funding the Yolo County I-80 Corridor Improvement Project. The project would add an additional lane to both sides of the freeway, making it 8 lanes instead of 6 between Davis and Sacramento. The department approved $105 million for the expansion phase of the project, and supporters say it would ease traffic congestion. Climate advocates are arguing, though, that it could cause concern for pollution and harm the environment, and others feel that it's a waste of taxpayer money. Other phases could include adding a toll express lane and a carpool lane. The California Public Utilities Commission has proposed rejecting AT&T's application to stop providing landlines and other services in certain areas. The company is currently the carrier of last resort for California. Over the last couple months, more than 5,000 public comments were written in response to AT&T's application to withdraw their services, and AT&T argues that voice over internet service from cable companies and mobile providers could meet people's communication needs. The Public Utilities Commission disagrees, and a final decision from the Utilities Commission will be voted on their June 20th meeting. Fireworks in court today as former President Donald Trump's attorney cross-examined Michael Cohen in the hush money payment against Donald Trump. The defense trying to discredit Cohen in front of the jury and attempting to paint him as a liar who's looking for revenge. Here's more on what's said in court.
Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former attorney, getting grilled on the witness stand by Trump's defense team all day. Defense attorney Todd Blanche trying to prove to jurors that Cohen is a serial liar who's not to be trusted. Cohen himself admitting he's lied repeatedly in the past for the former president.
Anytime you have a witness against you, their credibility is the most important thing. He's lied so many times, so many places.
The cross-examination forcing Cohen to explain statements he made to various people at various times about his desire for a cooperation agreement, a pardon, and a job in the White House. Blanche attempting to show Cohen's resentment towards Trump, asking, "You were disappointed that after all the work you had done for President Trump for 9.5 years, nobody, including Mr. Trump, offered you a spot in the White House." Cohen replying, "That's not accurate." Blanche at one point raising his voice as he pressed Cohen on a key piece of evidence in the government's case against Trump, suggesting Cohen lied about speaking with Trump by phone about Stormy Daniels just days ahead of the 2016 election. Around the time Cohen says Trump ordered him to pay Daniels to keep her quiet about the alleged sexual encounter. Cohen insisting he's been truthful. Trump denying that sexual encounter and pleading not guilty to falsifying business records when he labeled Cohen's reimbursement as a legal expense.
This trial is a scam and it's a sham and it shouldn't happen.
Now, court will not be in session tomorrow, with Trump expected to attend his son's graduation, but it is expected to return on Monday. Next, on to the point, a very exciting day for dozens of high school seniors as they choose their future colleges. All right, before we go tonight, we want to highlight an exciting day for dozens of high school seniors. Today was signing day. Yes, yes, yes. It's the end of the year tradition where college-bound seniors, they're sharing their college decisions with their community and formally committing to their university of choice. This was the event this morning at Sacramento Charter High School. This year, 95% of Sac High seniors were accepted into four-year colleges. 8 are going to UC campuses, 18 to CSU colleges, and 23 to historically black colleges. I just want to say congratulations and good luck to you all. We're all counting on you because you are our futures. Good luck. Congratulations. And thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. We love telling your stories. We love getting to meet you. And if you have anything you think we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. Remember, strangers are people you just haven't gotten to know yet. So take the chance to meet someone. I'll see you later. Have a good night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.